Care worker has been sent to prison for 9 months for live streaming on TikTok during the protests in August. Now, this is what I'm talking about on here because when I've had a look into this, I find this absolutely ridiculous the way this lass has been treated. And I am talking about two separate cases on this episode because the first one, as I've just mentioned, she has been sentenced to 9 months in prison for live streaming. Now, bearing in mind, this is a care worker who has never been to prison before. And she was on her way home and she was live streaming on TikTok during the riots. And she has been sentenced to 9 months in prison. She's lost her job and everything. And I'll just give you a look exactly who she is. I've got it. 2 seconds, people, because I've got it right here. Oh. There we are. Right. So I'm just going to show you a picture of the lass. There she is there. So this is Cameron Bell, who's 23-year-old, who was caught on CCTV wearing her work uniform with around 20 people making their way through Tamworth Town Centre armed with planks of wood and metal on the night of August the 4th. Bearing in mind, she wasn't carrying anything. She wasn't involved in any of this. But she did admit to violent disorder in September, and she's been in custody ever since. So when she's went up and pled guilty to violent disorder, they have actually remanded her straight into custody, which for something like this, that doesn't normally happen. You don't normally get remanded into custody waiting to be sentenced on something like this. So I did go on to say that her lawyer, Stephen Rudge, told the court she was on the periphery of a non-confrontational group. She's lost her job as a carer. This is what the judge has actually said. So a passing sentence, and Judge John Edwards rejected a community order and told Bell that members of the group, which was caught on CCTV near to a statue of Sir Robert Peel, were armed and plainly intent on further violence. She wasn't with this group, though. She was by herself in her work's uniform. Goes on to say the judge said in early August a series of disturbances erupted across this country following a tragic incident in late July when 3 young girls were fatally stabbed at a dance class in Southport. He adds, the violence was fueled by misinformation and misplaced far-right sentiment. It spread to various towns and cities across the nations, including, as we can see, Tamworth. Now, this is another subject, but getting onto that, when it's all come about, it wasn't misinformation, even though the riots were a lot to do with not just that. They were on about the illegal migrants, but they put it down to the 3 young girls that were tragically killed. And it goes on to say a hotel in Tamworth housing asylum seekers was targeted with significant damage being caused and injuries sustained. Now, I don't recall anyone being injured, any asylum seekers. I never seen any of that, anyone being injured. Goes on to say Cameron Bell was someone who, though weight of numbers, had pursued an unlawful purpose. The judge said, adding that had she been among a group of about 20 people believed to be heading towards a different hotel in the town. Acknowledging that Bell's involvement was around about 10:30 p.m. after the worst was over, the judge said her comments on the live stream were unacceptable and abhorrent and had the potential to fan the flames. She was on TikTok live, as everybody does, and she was saying comments on there, and she did say in one of the comments, when I went on to say that, she called them tramps. But just because she's called them tramps, in my eyes, doesn't sustain immediate prison sentence. And I'm going to go on to something else in a minute, but it says rejecting calls for a suspended sentence. The judge concluded anyone involved in violent disorder must command immediate custody, with the need for deterrence being acute. Now, when I get onto the fucking next story, this is when all that judge has just said there is absolute fucking bollocks. Because I'll get onto that other story in a minute, but I'll put the ticker across the bottom so you can see what I'm about to talk about. But I will just go on to the comments in a second there. So like Lucas has said there, but bacons are getting community service. This is exactly what I'm going to go on to in the next story. So remember what I've just said there, what that judge has said. A custodial sentence was needed to deter others. Now, look at this next one. I'll just get his picture up. So there we have it. This is 2 seconds while I get the headlines on this one was trainee teacher 26 who shared more than 1,000 videos of kid abuse and newborn babies being I'm not even going to say it because it's that sick. 2 seconds. I'll see if I can get this up and then you can see exactly what it says, because you can't see these words because, like I've mentioned previously, it flags up and they don't let you use these type of words. But I will put it up on the screen for you just now so you can see exactly what it says. I'll leave that on for a second so you can read it. And he's been given a suspended sentence. Can you actually believe that? So I'll go on to the rest of the story now, tell you who it is. And it says, a trainee teacher who shared videos, I've just tell you what it said on the screen there. Jacob Chuffet, or Chuffet, I think it's pronounced. Jacob Chuffet, 26, shared and received more than 1,000 of the more serious category A films and photos. So he shared them and he received them. And he's been given a suspended sentence. Can you believe that? And that other judge said he was using it as a deterrent for other people. So is this not a deterrent for other people? The 26-year-old of Iffley, Oxford, confessed to 14 counts of making, possessing, and distributing them images between 2015 and 2019, and he's been working in a school ever since, trainee teacher. What an absolute fucking rat. However, the S offender has avoided time behind bars after pleading guilty. The former trainee teacher left his job in November 2022 after being arrested by the police, Oxford Crown Court heard. In a police interview, he confessed to possessing the most sickening videos, which he distributed to other vile on Telegram and WhatsApp. 18 months later, the bacon was charged and pleaded guilty at his first hearing. Chuffet stored and distributed the harrowing footage on 2 mobile phones. One of the mobile devices had 570 category A photos, as well as 484 videos, with some as young as 6 months old. The other phone had 462 category A photos and videos of newborns. Newborns, this is the worst of the worst. Between the 2 mobile phones, there were 228 category B and 63 category C snaps. Julian Lynch, prosecuting, said the obvious aggravating feature is the very young age, obviously. This is more than a trivial number of mostly moving images. Kelly Enever, defending, argued that Chuffet, or Chuffet, I think it's pronounced, had been I'm not to say what it says. Him himself had been from the age of 11 and had used drink and drugs to self-medicate during the offending period. Well, that is what most of them say, that they have had it done to them. That's why they're doing it. Absolute bullshit to try and make a defense for himself so he doesn't have to go to prison. Judge Nigel Daly handed Chuffett a 2-year suspended sentence, noting that the mitigating factors outweighed the age of the S offender victims. The judge told Chuffett, this offending involves 2 devices and multiple different categories. These include babies. This is quite shocking. The ex-teacher has been ordered to complete 30 rehab sessions, 180 hours of unpaid work, and has also been made subject to an S harm prevention order. He's also required to sign the S offender register for the next decade. So, people, what do you think of that? What do you make of that? He has been given a suspended sentence. She has been sentenced to 9 months in prison to deter other people from doing the same. But all she was doing was in her work's uniform, her carer uniform, on her way home from work, going through the town centre. She's seen them all protesting, but there had been rioting earlier on in the day. She does what the majority of the population does now, gets your phone out, either videos or live streams. She's live streamed what's been going on. She's then said a couple of things on the live stream. Someone's obviously reported it and then have went back and looked on our live stream, or she's probably posted it straight on TikTok and been reported, and the coppers have come and locked her up. She's pled guilty and got remanded straight away. He pled guilty, got bailed, went back for sentencing, and got a suspended sentence. Now, what do you think about that? Right, I will go into a few of the comments now, people. So Marie McCann sends the message that it is okay to be SA, but if you speak up against the government, you go to jail. Now, this is what a lot of people are afraid to talk about, and I'm talking more about it on this channel now since I'm off my license, because I'm being quite verbal about these sort of things, especially when it comes to the bacons, because I cannot stand them type of offenders. And for them to get suspended sentences all the time, I've done a lot of videos lately, and they're getting suspended sentences, they're getting caught time after time, and they're not going to jail. But somebody who has never been in trouble in their life, they're a worker, they've got a job, they're making good use in the community, have then been sent to prison straight away. They've pled guilty to it as well. She would have gotten sacked from work anyway, which would have been bad enough. There's no need to send her to prison. She's never been in trouble in her life. If she had just been given a suspended sentence, that would have been enough to scare her straight to never do it again. But yet, this despicable bacon has been distributing the most severe and sick videos imaginable, and he has been sentenced to a suspended sentence in community hours. What a fucking absolute disgrace. Right. T1000 says this system is fucking warped. Exactly. Knight and King says we need carers, not bacons. That lass was a carer. She's lost her job. Do you not think that would have been bad enough? Never mind sending her to prison for 9 months. She would have been shitting herself, the poor lass. But yet this bacon goes free. Boils my fucking piss, as you can quite imagine. But I'm being, like I've mentioned, I'm being more vocal about these things on here. I'm not saying anything that'll get us into bother. All of this is just all over the mainstream media. Wait, it's not in the mainstream media, but if you go and have a look on different articles, you can find it in the papers. And as you can imagine, some of the videos I've been doing lately, which is called Bacon Bashers, talking about these nonsense getting bashed inside of prison. People are loving these type of videos. And again, if you can see there, the subscribers is up to 76,400. It's going up by the thousands every week. which I'm pleased about. So thank you all for your continuing support as well. So King Zizou says it's because the government is full of bacons. Keep the sentences low for them. So when they get caught out and they come up in front of the judges, they get the same sentences, because they will. There is a lot of them undercover that will be coming to the surface. But I just thought I would bring that to your attention, people, because, like I've mentioned, a lot of you that are joining the channel are loving hearing stories like this, and you're liking to see and speaking up about these type of offenders, when I think it's a massive injustice letting these type of protesters go to prison. Fair enough, some of them have went a bit far, but give them a suspended sentence. That'll scare the shit out of them. But then you're giving all these bacons suspended sentences. Just doesn't make sense, does it? So Phil Drury says, I'd love to get a hold of the statistics that show any correlation between belief, crime, and sentencing. I think it'd be enlightening. Well, funny enough, I went on a website and asked for some statistics, because I was doing videos on the illegal migrants that have committed murder in this country since they've been here. And guess what? They said they don't hold statistics for certain individuals. But that's a different story for another day. Yeah, but that's what it did say, because I did try to get some information on that. Sparky D says, oi, oi, Ricky, keep up the good work. Respect from Gateshead. Nice one, pal. Marie Nelson says, the system is corrupt, unbelievable, a suspended sentence for SA. But it was actually the most severe. I'll just put it up again so you can actually, the people who have just joined can see what he's been charged with. Absolutely disgusting. That's what he's been charged with, distributing them type of images, and he got a suspended sentence. But, right, go back onto the comments here, people. I just thought I would bring that on, but if there is any more videos that you would like us to make, drop it in the comments. But I have got a lot of members on my channel, and I am going to be doing members only lives. 2 seconds. Sentencing is political now. But yes, I'm going to be doing some members only lives, members only videos. So if you are wanting to join the channel, the link is in the description, or go to the members section. And I will be giving my members a shout out on here, which I haven't done yet, which I did promise them. So I will, if the members are watching now, you will be getting your shout out in the next video or two. So Paul William says, what will her life be like in prison? To be honest with you, the lasses' prisons are a total different ball game to what the lads' prisons are. So she will be getting on fine. Obviously, when she first went in, she'll be shiting herself, as you would be, someone who's never been in trouble with the police before. And then this happens. But again, she will probably get on all right with the different with the other lasses, because they are different in there. If some lasses in there say that she was a bit frightened and she's a first timer, they probably will look after her. They might want a couple of kisses here and there, like, because that's what they do in them prisons. Right, people, I'm going to wrap this up now. So Marie Nelson says, Rick, your channel is brilliant. You give us so many videos. Like I said, I'm trying to get, I didn't normally do the videos on a weekend, but I will try and get more lives on, because obviously with this new style that I've started doing, I am going to be doing more of these lives. So keep an eye out, people. They are just random when I get a bit free time. But I'm going to leave that one there for now, people. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your night, and watch out for future videos.